Are you an indie podcast or content creator looking to reach a wider audience? Look no further. Introducing Podcastic, the ultimate podcast network designed exclusively for indie creators like you. At Podcastic, we believe in the power of unique voices and fresh perspectives. We're here to amplify your passion and creativity, connecting you with a growing community of engaged listeners who crave original content. Podcastic is more than just a platform. It's a support system built for indie podcasters, offering a range of resources to help you succeed. From tailored promotional campaigns to professional production assistance, we're here to help you shine. Our intuitive platform makes it easy for you to be seen and heard. We do all the heavy lifting for you. You just show up and create. Plus, with our advanced analytics, you'll gain valuable insights into your audience's preferences, allowing you to refine your content and grow your fan base. Ignite your passion, expand your reach, and thrive with podcasting. Visit our website at www.podcasticlife.com to get started. Podcastic, the home for indie podcast and content creators.
Lake Beach Essence Experience is more than a photo shoot, but an opportunity to express love and to celebrate oneself. Imagine a time set aside for you to just be. A moment where the outside world is on pause and you are most important.
No.
When you book me, Lake Beach Essence, as your personal photographer, I make it my duty to provide an environment that allows you to let your hair down. Be it with friends for a small celebration or a one-on-one session, I guarantee you leave feeling more empowered than you did when you arrived. So book your Lake Beach Essence experience today. If you would like to book your Lake Beach Essence experience today, please contact me at lakebutler2006@gmail.com or send me a text at 313-828-0588.
Lights, camera, action.
Lights, camera, action.
It's left.
Lights, camera, action.
It's bold.
Lights, camera, action.
It's the truth, raw and uncut.
It's up.
It's him with the juice. Kelly, what's up? Thursday night. We talk adult, talk unfiltered.
What up, though? It's Kells. It's Thursday night. What up, though? What up, though? What up, though? It's Thursday night. You know, I'm right here in the building, right here, giving the people what they gotta know. Kells Unfiltered. Thank y'all for tuning in. It's a great Thursday. The weather's actually pretty decent around here in Detroit. Ain't too warm, ain't too cold, but hey, it ain't warm either, so we'll take it. So this is a very, very special show. I got, when it comes down to community and doing things in Detroit just from the ground up, nobody beats this guy right here. And where he came from to where he's at now and what he's doing, phenomenal. I give y'all Dr. Yusef Shakur. What's going on, brother?
Not much, man. Thank you for having me, good brother.
Man, we need you. What's going on in America today? We need you, especially the black community. We need those strong voices. Mm-hmm. But let's talk a little bit about you and coming from where you come from.
Right.
I don't know how far you want to go back because we can go back to Zone 8 JoJo.
Wow, okay.
All right, so we're going all the way back because we got to bring that up because I want to give people context of how you started from where you started from to get to where you at now because the story is incredible. So let's go back to that, your nickname then and type of guy you was.
So to put context to it, so there was JoJo.
JoJo, okay.
And then ultimately became Zone 8 JoJo. So JoJo, I was a young boy. I got kicked out of kindergarten.
Wow.
I started at that age of fighting. Some reason it's just fighting had become an outlet for me at a very, very young age. I grew up in the 80s.
Right.
I'm a 70s baby, but grew up in the 80s.
Right.
What we say hoods now, it was the ghetto, right? So gangs was prevalent. For some reason, up until recent, those of the Detroit ones deny, like gangs didn't exist.
Oh
they
no,
did.
yeah, they did.
They did. So in my area, 14 Ferry Park, my neighborhood, Zone
Right.
8, where I come from. I mean, at the time, Zone as a gang didn't exist. The neighborhood did, but not the gang. But you had other gangs. You had the Boys Town, Gangster Flins, Eminem, etc.
Right.
And what they would do was go get the young guys, the little boys, and have us fight against each other.
Right. Right.
You know, that kind of bet. It was like a gladiator school and things.
Right.
And you know, was no harm per se. And what you think is something innocent, but it was like on the pathway. You know, getting kicked out of school, fighting in school, things of that nature. I was just a kid. I was trying to find himself, but being physical was a means. But I mean, a lot of times folks would think, you know, having your father in your life is someone demanding of you. Actually, my mother demanded of me. If you know, she told me if somebody put their hands on me, you better hit them back. If you don't hit them back, I'm gonna knock you upside your head. So.
Yeah, pretty much.
So.
Yeah, so and going from that as a young, being fighting around as a young age, at what point did it turn to something different, or as you grew older, was it just like a way of life?
It was a way of life to some degree.
Okay.
It was an evolution of it, right? You know, I mean, early on, I was describing earlier. You know, you hang with your friends. My friends at the time, we was kind of like the little rascals, so to speak.
Right.
You know, not necessarily getting in serious trouble, but little innocent trouble. Stealing out the store. You know, we used to break in Northwestern High School to go swimming. Up at Northwestern, this when they used to have the baseball stuff. We used to go steal the baseball, tennis balls, and we'd come back to the local park and play.
Right.
So again, you're not, and I like all the gangs, the drugs. I mean, a lot of folks don't know, like, you know, this is the emergence of why we had Young Boys Incorporated.
Exactly. Yeah. About that time period.
No, it's not necessarily in my neighborhood in terms of them, but the person who supplied them, he was from my neighborhood.
Okay.
So I mean, drugs is frequently. I mean, like you come outside, but you're not necessarily in it. You know, for me, again, you think back during that time period. You know, there was those of us who was poor, and there was those of us who was poor.
Yeah.
And you know, I was poor, and so we didn't have a lot of things, but we did. We still had something. Like my grandfather owned our house, where others they didn't have nothing because of the epidemic of drugs, alcohol, and where folks was forced to get out of the street. So you grew up faster. But again, the common denominator is that you learn how to defend yourself. So I transitioned from hanging out with the little rascals to, you know, you get more serious and you hanging out more serious with guys, and you know, you forming into this gang. We're not all the way there. You know, again, like you my homeboy, you call, hey man, such and such around the corner. Let's go. I'm on it, and you just graduating to this thing. That's how I end up graduating into founding the Zone 8 as a gang, and didn't even realize that's what we did. Right. So this like 87, the movie Untouchable came out, and the gang, or some homeboys across the boulevard, they start calling themselves Untouchable. All right. And so in response, we Zone 8, and the war was born, and we was beefing all day, every day. And then, you know, the evolution of that, guns getting involved, knives getting involved, and things.
Yeah, so getting in trouble with the law, did you see yourself getting locked up, or you just thought it was like an everyday thing? You didn't think it was going to go no further than something that you did going on? You didn't think you was going to get locked up at all? Was there like an invincibility to that, or you just knew going in there was a possibility?
It's a little bit of both, but more leaning on the invincibility. I mean, again, nobody, like you think you think you outrun the police. Like you think you're smarter than the police, smarter than the system, when you realize it's setting you up. But that's the allure of that what you call the lifestyle actually is a death style. The way of life it's setting you up to that trap. Because in reality, I know I've used this analogy. It's like a movie, right? Right. And you played the actor before I played it, but here I'm now trying to play the actor, the role that you play, as if it's going to have a different outcome, and the same outcome, either prison, early grave, drug addict,
Right.
et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
So to your point of visibility, because again, like, you know, you telling your mind, that nigga, I ain't that nigga. That nigga
Right.
ain't me. So
Right.
that definitely ain't gonna be my destination. I'm too smart for that game. Woo, woo. But that's, you gotta have that invisibility to survive.
Right. Exactly. You got that mentality, like, you know what, I'm gonna do this and do it to the best of my ability.
Absolutely.
At that point, is your job.
Absolutely, it's your job, and I mean, but also it becomes more your job the deeper you get into it.
Right.
Like for me, it was a graduation from fighting to gang to hanging with gangsters,
Right.
hanging with killers. You selling drugs. So each level is
Right.
the more depth, and the more depth of you're losing the sense of who you are, your humanity.
Right.
And once you lose your humanity, then I don't see your humanity. And once I don't see your humanity,
Right.
it's easy for me to pistol whip you, want to shoot you,
Right,
or
right.
you know, you owe me $10, and I want to talk to you less than what you is, and it ain't. And you look at man, it's only $10,
Right.
but I'm trying to prove myself again, because the more I prove myself, the more I prove myself to myself that I'm invincible. And I wish, and that's communicating. I wish a nigga would.
True that. Because you gotta have that. If you don't have that, you cooked.
You do, because also in that what I describe and coined the streetaholic. Like you gotta have that armor on,
Right.
And even if it's a false armor, but just something that you wear, and some of it, like for me, I wasn't the toughest guy.
Right.
I wasn't the best fighter, but I had determination. I had grit. I had a willpower to win.
That's what's up. And I get you far.
Yeah, I get you a lot for it. You know.
All right. So it gets you far, but now you're in jail.
Mm-hmm.
At what point does it go, well, maybe I need to change, or at what point did light bulbs start clicking in your mind?
Well, so let's
Back up a little bit?
Back up
Okay,
a little bit.
gotcha.
So, jail is unique to everybody because
Right.
Well, prior to jail, there's the interaction with the police,
Right.
and there you realize like they don't like you.
Mm-hmm.
They treat you like shit. So
Right,
at some
right.
point you begin to think you ain't shit, right? And then from there you get the handcuffs on you.
Mm-hmm.
You're in the back of the car. You go to the jail or you go to the county jail. So
Right.
so all this is preparing you for
Incarceration.
Gotcha. And then for me, the early version of incarceration was the youth home.
Okay.
But each offense was different.
Mm-hmm.
My first offense was armed robbery, fight, assault, something like that. But my most severe offense was my homeboys shot up. I was with them. I didn't do it, but we shot inside of a church, and two people got shot.
Okay.
I mean, at the time when that happened, it was like a gangster movie in real life in my neighborhood.
Right.
Like it's something that you see on TV, right? And it was. They picked us up immediately, and like you facing 50 years, you facing 100 years, and no one that heard nothing like that, right? And first
Right.
enough, I was they dropped the charges against me. They have enough evidence on me, but again, and then that moment, like, because one, I'm seeing the pain in my mother's eyes,
Right.
and I don't like that feeling, but I
Right.
don't know how to solve that.
Right.
I don't know how to remove myself out of that. And so my mother sees me going down this path of self-destruction, which is either going to lead me to dying or going to prison. But also put in perspective, if you go back and you do the research, and from 86 to 88, there's a couple, like 200 deaths of black youth each year.
Yeah, it was, because that's when what's that group? Was it So Sad?
So Sad.
So Sad.
So Sad was founded in my neighborhood.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I didn't know of him when I was a little kid. So actually, the Clement Bartel, something I can't remember his sister's name, but her son went to Northwestern, which is my neighborhood.
Okay.
He got killed accidentally right at Linwood and the Boulevard.
Okay.
So this is the birth of So Sad.
Gotcha.
One of my homeboys, older guy named Jesse. Jesse's trying to sell dope, and they playing Russian roulette with a gun, and Jesse gets shot. And they don't know what to do, so they take Jesse. This when we used to have the trash cans behind the house,
Right.
And they put Jesse in the trash can.
Wow.
Jesse becomes an advocate for SOSAD. And so to your point, SOSAD is at the forefront of this. And so when I'm leading to all these deaths and then knocking on doors, and also in the midst of this, your fathers are disappearing in prison or in the streets. So you have the mothers. Mothers are left to hold the fort down. And so at that time, my mother makes the second toughest decision of her life. The first was to have me, and the second one was to make me a ward of the state.
Wow. And
she makes me a ward of the state to try to save me from myself. So I ended up going to Maxi Training School. So that was my first real form of incarceration. So Maxi's Training School at that time, and so you had Star Commonwealth, which was a real lax type of incarceration for youth. Maxie was more secure than Green Oaks and then prison. Right. And so I spent like 16 months there. And I'm trying to I see things differently, but I don't. I'm still unraveled. Right.
So you're still not aware of the prison industrial complex yet.
I'm aware of my father's in prison. Okay. I don't care per se. I want to change. With the point I'm trying to change, but I don't know how to change. So when I come home, I'm doing good. I got a job, but it's something in me just doesn't feel right. Okay. And some period of time, and I try to kill myself. Oh wow. The reason I try to kill myself because the dilemma is either go back to the streets or stay on this narrow path of trying to do good. Now, I don't feel good here, but I don't want to go back here because I know what this is going to do. So this leads me to this warped thinking. And then afterwards, obviously, I was unsuccessful. I get immediately back in the streets, but I'm not the same person. I'm only doing it because I don't know how to change. Okay. And how to sustain that change. And then this is kind of, you're always hunted by the possibility of going to prison. And so when you back up again, there's this is when we had a gang squad. And so me being part of the Zone 8, I was high-ranking member of Zone 8. My name was either on enemy walls of someone they we wanted to resolve, or the police, we need to get them off the street. And so one time I was in the gang squad, my mother came and got me, and the officer told her, like, I'm gonna take pride in sending your son to prison.
Wow, like that.
Just like that. And then, a year later, 2 years, something like that, my homeboys, they get in an altercation at Northwestern High School with the football team. And police came and they riled the people up and they picked me up. And the officer who made that statement, he's the lead detective. And he coerced the one of the guys who got jumped on to pick me out of the lineup. So that's what ultimately leads me to go to prison for a crime I didn't commit.
Wow. That's unreal. It's an unreal story, but it's familiar. And at the time, we're talking about the crack era. And how people were going to jail just like you, just off name. Not necessarily they had something on you. Your name was big. So that made an example out of you. Right. So how did you take that going forward, going into prison?
I mean, I was young, so and I was. My mother just raised me a certain type of way. Okay. In the sense of I wasn't mad at the system, but I don't know how to be mad at the system. Okay. Because I'm ignorant to some degree. I'm mad at my homeboys, but I'm not really mad at my homeboys. Right. As easy I went to prison for them. They easily, because I wasn't, even though I didn't do that, I wasn't an angel. I'd done enough dirt. So I just took it as it was part of the game. But when I get there, just think like in the early it wasn't until like the 90s, the prison boom. And what I mean by the prison boom, so it was only like 3 prisons in Michigan. Up into the mid 90s, 3 or 4 prisons. Then from the 90s on, it went from 3 or 4 prisons to almost 50 prisons.
I didn't know either. That's
I
looked at.
It changed its complex. The complex of prison and the prison industrial complex just grows overnight. Right. And as it grows overnight, it grows from what we used to see as a child, the hardcore, the prison bars. Now you see these more relaxed prisons, prisons that look like projects. and shit like that because you're trying to accommodate, right? So when I get to what's called MTU, Michigan Training Unit, it's like the Brewster Projects. There's five housing units, nice pedicure grass, a recreation center. You know, so like, is this really prison? And I'm young, and I get there. Only thing I have as an identity is Zone 8.
Right.
I'm not necessarily leading with that because I don't know who my enemy might be. Because again, one thing I rationalized going on my way to prison was my father's there, and I got enemies there. Like them the two things I already established off rip. So, and I knew how to handle myself in the sense of staying to myself, being observant. But you know, when you go to prison, and first thing you want is you want pictures. You want, because that's your ability to stay connected to the world, family, friends, whatever. So my homeboys, you know, they sent me a bunch of pictures, and so you know, when you on the yard, you're like, Joe, let me see them pictures. You know, so we showing pictures, and oh, that motherfucker Zone 8. You know, then before you know, oh, that's Zone 8. That's what they're calling me and things. And so this is my identity. I'm not necessarily getting in trouble immediately, but then I hook up one of my guy. He was from Dexter. We became very close, like a best friend. And for you know it, man, we was in and out the hole like every other week. So my first 6 months, I already had like close to 10 fights.
Wow.
You know, a lot of it is just, some of it could have been avoided, but again, not being grounded, not having a sense of direction. You just got caught up in the madness, and then you just thriving on the madness and stuff. Wow.
So now you're in prison. You're adjusting to new surroundings. So did it get to a routine, or did you still feel like you were still trying to disconnect from the guy you used to be?
Well, it got to a point where I was at my lowest end of my life, where like that 10th time in a hole, like, man, I can't, like, let's say the definition of sanity, keep doing the same thing over and over again. Like, the light went off, but I didn't know how to keep the light on.
Gotcha.
And so the best decision I made in my life at that time was to write my father. Okay. And once I get his address, I realized, like, he's literally across the dirt road from me.
That close?
Yeah, he that close, but that far.
Gotcha.
And I'm asking for help. But I don't know. I'm street, you know, function literally. So I don't actually know how to articulate my thoughts in a manner like to being vulnerable. Right. And so my father writes me back. Actually, this is what we have here. So these are the actual letters.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
That my father wrote to me. And, you know.
Make sure people can get this right here.
Yeah. So initially, you know.
There you go.
Initially, I thought the first letters or just letters in general would be one of the I told you speech. You know, men try to be the boys. I told you, blah, 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 right. Unfortunately, it wasn't that. You know, it was like, man, I could never give one of those. Man, I'm ashamed that you follow me here, right? Right. And mind you, while I'm function literate, I'm not necessarily comprehending everything, but what I do comprehend is the love. Right. The warmth, the protection. Right. Those things are jumping off. Right? And those things I always wanted. But also, again, to show my ignorance, it never dawned on me how he would feel of the agony, the disappointment, the pain. Like, damn, my son is in prison. Like, this is how damaged I am as a person. And so we started the communication. And mind you, I'm still getting in trouble. I'm still doing my thug thing, fighting here and there and whatever. But those letters have become my North Star. I looked forward to those letters. And those letters he began to paint a picture of who he was and paint a picture of who I could become. And God being the best planner, a year later, we would be at the same prison.
Wow, because I saw you posted that picture one time on Facebook, and I see you two standing there, and I thought that was like that moment where things turned for you. Was it exactly that moment?
No, I think again it started turning from like in the letters.
In the letters, okay.
In the letters.
That was just the cap. That was just the icing on the cake when you standing there with him.
That was like, you know, getting to that point, but also, so I blow the level 2 and get to a level 4.
Okay.
So when I get to level 4, this ain't the little leagues. This the big leagues.
Right.
This the bars.
All right.
You lock down 23 hours a day. This guys ain't fighting. They stabbing.
Right.
If they ain't stabbing, they hitting you with the lot. Guys, they trying to befriend you, but they trying to befriend you in another way. Like this, it's total different environment. So like my spider senses is on 20.
1,000, yeah.
And so everything, so everything he's saying to me now is like, okay, bam, bam, bam.
Right.
I'm putting for the dots, but also I've always had this hunger for change.
Right.
But I didn't know how to walk through the door, so he helped me walk through the door. And so I'm not questioning. I'm starting to read. I'm reading autobiography of Malcolm X, and then this is now to the point where we're together. The affirmation, it happens there.
Wow. So after, so close you get to release, your release date, do you start to see now a different sense of purpose, or did being free again and going through another circumstance, it just gives some hesitation?
Well, my purpose changed immediately. My purpose, so that year, so 93, 94, my purpose changed totally.
Okay.
So I'm not necessarily I'm on my path of being a totally new person. So I'm no longer JoJo.
Okay.
I'm Yusef.
All right.
At that time, and to confirm that I'm at a maximum security prison. I go back down to the level 4 prison in Mar. One of my homeboys off the street, he seen me like, "What's up, JoJo? How you doing, baby?" I'm like, "I'm doing good, but I need to tell you something. My name is not JoJo. My name is Yusef." And I could see it. And he was like, "Call God, what you mean your name ain't JoJo? I've known you all my life.
Exactly. Yeah.
You always gonna be JoJo."
Right.
But for me, because again, when you're in prison, not everybody's real sincere about the change that they're making. So the declaration for myself was to be authentic.
Right.
I'm not faking. Right. So I had to do that for me. And my homeboy, unfortunately, was just a expense of that experience. And then because again, in prison, you can be whatever. Like on one prison, you can be the smartest guy. The next prison you go to, you can be a thug. The next prison, you can be a homo. Like it can vary.
Right.
Because of the environment and the circumstances. And for me, I'm being consistent. Like this is who I am. Right. And so, but more importantly, in being consistent, I've transformed myself into being a revolutionary. And so in doing that, I want to do for others what my father has done for me. So this is the foundation of me being a leader. Right. Like I've always been a leader, but I've been a leader in a bad way. So now I learned how to be a leader in the positive way. And I'm not even thinking about the outside per se. Okay. Because you're trapped in here. And once you begin to become political in your thinking, the reality, the guards may kill you. Yeah. The guards may set up the prisoners to kill you, right? And it's not necessarily you're a threat by the nature of who you are.
By telling the truth.
Not only telling the truth, because your presence. Okay. Your presence is so strong that you command the respect of other folks. Because again, whether it's enslaved people or in prison, the way you control a group of people is through chaos. Wow. Disorder.
Currently we're going through now.
And so the ability to have, not saying myself per se, right, but I was on that path. And there was others who was definitely those. And again, if you talking about prison, they'll tell you like the right dudes come to a prison. Right. They change the whole atmosphere. Okay. Just by their presence, and that's who I was striving to be. And at some point I became that because it was just how I handled myself. I mean, like most guys, they wasting time walking the yard talking about how they miss big booty girls. Can't wait to go to the club. Can't wait to drive big cars. Like if you even came to me with a conversation like that,
it was done.
Done. If it didn't have nothing to do with growth, transformation. Like, you know, so when I go back to MR, I got a black and white TV. I just got it because. And, you know, this is when Martin's show out, right?
Right.
I'm sitting on my bunk reading my book, and my neighbor has what's called a hawk, a mirror, watching my TV, watching Martin while I'm reading on my bunk, reading the book.
Wow, that's thinking. That's definitely thinking. But as a role model, did you think of yourself as a role model in prison those last couple of years once you got focused?
Absolutely. I mean, again, give another example. So I'm at Muskegon.
Right.
Muskegon is another version of MTU.
Right.
A very loose prison, whatever. And so my housing unit is B unit. As soon as you walk out, there's a basketball rim right there, a court. And I would come, so with these cameras, like this is a court, this is a room, this room. I would sit up on that room reading a book. So this guy come there, he like, why ain't nobody, again, you in prison, everybody want to play basketball. I ain't tell guys they couldn't play basketball, but nobody wanted to ask me could I move to play basketball either.
Right.
Because I demanded that respect. And my man like, what? Most guys like, it ain't crazy. Like
Just leave that man alone.
Yeah. The one guy like, I need to talk to him.
Right.
Because again, you think about respect in prison. I mean, obviously there was guys with the knives, guys known for stabbing somebody.
Right.
But my respect was just how I carried myself. And so from that standpoint, I became a model for others.
Right.
And I mean, then like the books I would read, I don't know if you heard the rapper Seven in General.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Seven, you know, he was incarcerated. Like it was a book called Blood in My Eye. I gave him books to read, but I never gave him Blood in My Eye. And the reason I never gave him Blood in My Eye is it's kind of like, what's that one book? Deception of War or some shit like that. The Art of War.
Yeah.
And the other, what's the other one? The white guy books. Yeah, all his books like 48 Laws of Power.
Yeah.
Because most guys will try to use those books for manipulation.
Yeah, they're weapons.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So again, like on my watch, unless you show me that you can handle this knowledge, I would give it to you. But
Right.
and that was just across the board because I want you to be a weapon, but I want you to be a weapon with purpose. Going back to your question.
That's true.
The putting people before yourself versus, because again, we're all street guys.
Right.
And it's that street mentality is easy to kick in where you're trying to manipulate and you're trying to control. Because, hey, for me in prison, I mean, even now, like you've been knowing me over 10 years.
Oh, yeah.
Most time, every time you see me what? By myself. If I wanted 1,000 guys with me, I could. Easily.
I've seen it. I've seen when you come out, you speaking somewhere, I see 1,000 guys, you know, surrounding you. So you command that respect, not only as a leader, as a role model of the guy who's been there where they're at,
right,
and where they're trying to transformation too.
Correct.
Like, was there any point where you want to throw it in? Like, did somebody either take you to a point where you know what, or push you to a point where you was like tipping back to regression?
In prison or out?
First in prison.
No. No, it's a commitment, man. I mean, again, this is not everybody make that commitment. And so for me to easily go back to who I was, I wasn't a changed person in the fucking first place.
Right. True that. So when you get out and you're around certain people who was there before you went in, did they recognize the change?
They recognize the change, but what it is, like, I did what very few did, which is I went back to my neighborhood. And so, and I didn't understand what I would be up against because it was my first time ever going to prison. So, you know, you come home and like I wrote my book, and so older guys like, he a snitch. And I'm like, how the fuck I'm a snitch? I went to prison for something I didn't do.
That's true.
But, you know, and so you just the chitter chatter, and a lot of it is because, you know, you're a reflection of something different, and it's threatening to them. And so it's just causing confusion, but also consistency matter. You know, I've been on 25 years now. Right. Those same naysayers are cheerleaders now.
Oh yeah.
Those same naysayers, I love you, I respect you, but it's some of it didn't mean well. But also like my little homeboys, they looking for Gangster Joe. They looking for Gangster JoJo. Like, no, I don't know. That guy no longer exists. But also, like, you coming back to an environment that's abnormal, and you're trying to bring normalcy to it. It doesn't always work.
So, I remember the spot you had on Grand River, and you're really doing good work there. Did you feel a lot of opposition when you got that started, or did you get it started and did you get the response from the community that you was hoping for? Was that like the first, what I would call, I want to say like yours, you had the Mama Cool House now. Mm-hmm. Was that your first venture into like having a community house for your own or for the community?
Yeah, it was. It was actually, at the time, I was dipping into music. So I had my first company was Urban Girl Entertainment. I'd written my book, so I'm dipping into entrepreneurship,
right.
Business, so to speak, but I don't have a business plan. Mm-hmm. I don't necessarily have a business mind.
Right.
But I have a business mind, right? And I'm in my neighborhood one day, and I'm walking down Grand River, and I see it says for rent. Right. And the type of person I am, I'm a very, I can be a very impulsive person. Mm-hmm. So I go talk to the owner, like, yeah, it's for rent. I want to talk to some of my homeboys, like, right. 2 weeks later, we in this boy. Right. And we figured it out. Also, what most people don't know, driving force for me too was, two driving force. I have my book. I'm going to bookstores, and I haven't been in that lane for a minute. But like the price they're charging you to sell your book, it's not overly charged. But I just don't like it. But also, like you not even marketing. Like I'm marketing my book to send them to your bookstore. And your you marked it up so much, right? I'm paying you to work for you. Like, no, that don't make sense to me. Exactly. So I said, fuck it, I'm open my own bookstore. Right. I'm gonna cut out the middleman. Again, that's the same shit in the street. Right. Like, so I'm taking the street thinking, I'm applying it differently, right? Right. But another thing too, so I go to the store and I ask for a newspaper. He's like, we don't sell newspaper no more. Like, what do you mean you don't sell newspaper? Right. People over here don't read.
Damn, no
hesitation.
Right. Wow.
The fuck you mean we don't read? So right. I'm opening up a bookstore in my neighborhood. Right. Fuck you, I'm gonna show you we read. So those are some of my motivation factors. So to your question on the end, did the people get behind it? Yes and no. It was something new. Right. I mean, one of my proudest moments is, make she rest in peace. It was a lady in my neighborhood named Sue, and Sue was Sue. Sue. I mean, everybody in the neighborhood got a Sue.
Is that
whether she was on drugs or alcohol? This Sue was on alcohol. She made that little drug, and when she was on her bottle boy, she was off the charts. And she would come in on a couch like this and sit on the couch, and before you know it, Sue went to sleep. Oh wow. But at first it bothered me. Then the more I thought about it, like, mind you, it's a lot going on. Oh yeah. And most people can't go to sleep with a lot of people in the room. No, you take your ass home. Yeah, I've been in there. There's a lot going on. Trust me, it's popping in there. Yeah. So for her to feel comfortable, a lot going on spoke volumes. Oh yeah. And it spoke to the comfortability that she felt within in that presence that we was able to create, and like that's moving the crowd. That's people get behind it. But you got to be there to experience that. And most people didn't see it and didn't experience it. Also, most people would be ashamed of a Sue. I wasn't ashamed of a Sue. Sue represented my neighborhood. She's part of the community. Absolutely. That's what's up. That's what's up. And so now you have that going on. Then I rode past. I saw your picture the other day too. It's still on the wall. Yeah. And it's like you had to really be doing something in the neighborhood. Somebody put a mural of you on the wall. Not a mural of me, but a mural. You gotta get context, good brother. Oh, yeah, I'm getting context. I'm getting there, but I was getting there. But the Giants, you got Rosa Parks on that wall. Malcolm X. You have like about 15 other black influential people. John Conyers. Yes. You got the Yusef Lateef. You got Grace Lee Barnes. You got Mother Waters. All these folks. And at the time, the only person that was still living was John Conyers. Oh, okay. And myself. So I mean, that was a great honor. Again, and that honor was further verified. I remember when my little homeboys, they seeing it like, man, you next to Rosa Parks, you next to Malcolm. Like, exactly, next to Rosa Parks. When you look at it, yeah. And, I don't think nothing of it, but I'm saying they think something of it in the sense of, because they know Rosa Parks is, but like my homeboy, this is my homeboy from my neighbor. This is my homeboy that came from this
Yes.
to this.
Right.
You know, and it's right across the street from the Urban Network Cyber Cafe.
Yes.
Like, you know, and there's no better story than that. I mean, actually, it's funny you bring this up. Because one of my big homegirls texted me just yesterday, like, JoJo, we saw your picture up on Grand River. My sister didn't believe that was you. And I mean, it could be anywhere. I got other, there was a friend of mine, he did a mural of me in Toronto.
Right.
And I'm honored, and maybe somewhere else, but to have it right in my neighborhood,
Yeah. Gets no better than that.
it gets no better.
No better. Moving forward. So now you're doing great in the Hmong community, you know, speaking and doing stuff. What prompted you to go get your doctorate?
I mean, education is something that mattered to me, and not necessarily academic education, but just education in general. I just love reading. I'm a nerd like that, and that was a commitment I made to myself.
Okay.
So, but to get there, I started at community college. I earned my associate degree at Wayne Community College. I earned my bachelor's at University of Michigan Dearborn. Earned my master's at University of Michigan School of Social Work. And the next thing was to get my let me get the cherry. Let me finish baking this cake, and it was a very proud moment for me because of what I've been through, and I think also too what I realized, like, I become a workaholic,
right?
In the sense of, you guys know me, I've had great many accomplishments, but I've never really allowed any of my accomplishments to kind of flourish on its own. Like, I write one book and I turn around wrote another book,
right?
And then I turn around write another book,
right? And
so it just could probably subconsciously me trying to continue to prove to the world my worth, and I proved it. But again, when you have that dark halo of being a former gang member, former prisoner, etc. It's psychologically, it fucks with you. In the sense of trying to continue to prove yourself. And because again, like you said, and here's the thing about the Urban Network, right?
Right.
Most of the activists that you've seen over the last 10, 15 years, they all have came some affinity or touch came through the Urban.
Yeah, I've seen quite a few. Even when I met you, and I met a lot of others at the Urban Network.
And because for me, I'm a very I'm a quiet guy.
Right.
I don't boast.
Right.
I think what my work boasts itself. Right. And so, it's just trying to figure out what that looks like and how to do that in a way where, you remain true to yourself.
Yeah, that's what's up. Well, we need more people like that for sure. So now let's transition over to Ferry Street.
Ferry Park?
Ferry Park, yeah. The work that you do there. And I don't think that people really know exactly what you do there. And I've shared a lot of stuff, but I don't think the gravity of how important that your Mama Cool House is to that neighborhood. Right. So kind of explain to everybody, what actually goes on that, aside from the monthly goings on, what was the driving force and what we're doing right there for the community?
Yes. I mean, that started off and just going back to my neighborhood. Right. And figuring it out. And the birth of working on Ferry Park was the backpack event, which first started off some school supplies 20 years ago.
Yeah, I got really drenched one weekend.
I mean, in that sense, I was a trailblazer.
Yeah, you were, and that's why I joined. That's why I came to help you, because you were trailblazing, and people just wasn't doing it.
Yeah, not only that from that angle, but also from an angle again. Unfortunately, we know too many guys, men and women, who've been to prison. Right. But very few do we know who've been to prison go back to the block they caused harm on to do work on.
Yeah. But the first thing they tell you when you go out, don't go back home.
No, because also the statistic says that you won't survive. You're either going to get back in trouble, right, or you're going to get killed. Right. So the point I'm making is I've been a trailblazer in that sense of creating this beloved community block. Right. So again, if you go through the evolution, so the backpack event started at my mom's house. Right. And it just continued. the outgrowth of that was expanding to half the block, to the other block, to the whole block.
Yeah.
I remember one of my big homeboys, when we blocked off the street the first time, he's like, Joe, man, I ain't never seen the bus turn around unless, it was the yellow tape out there.
Right.
That was power.
Oh, yeah.
Power in the sense of that we can see ourselves operate and function in our community where it's not over policed or we don't see the white chart.
Exactly.
Where we seeing our kids have the ability to walk and be in the streets, have fun in the ghetto. Also again, if you from Detroit and you from that area of Detroit, you say, man, meet me on 14th Ferry Park or Linwood and Ferry Park. You're like, man, that's Zone 8. I'm not meeting you in Zone 8.
Exactly.
Because at one point, you playing with your life. But now to say, meet me on 14th Ferry Park, is to get into your point, like, oh, I feel safe over there.
Exactly.
I know Yusef over there. Yusef has been able, and so the work is just continue to grow and evolve. So now connecting the dots, we go up to Grand River. We open up the bookstore, cafe. We're forced to close. We get the abandoned house that's on Ferry Park down the street from my mama house. Right. Someone gives me that. We renovate that. That becomes the Mama Cool Community House. Now my base of operation it's in the neighborhood, but it's kind of on the outskirts. Now we're in the heart of the neighborhood. Right.
Exactly. That's what's up. Now that we have this orange jackass and as president, a lot of things in the community are being taken away, being defunded.
Right.
And not by overnight. It's been by design forever. How can we take your blueprint and start, adopting it across where they've been snatching out of?
Well, first one, fundamentally overstanding, they're snatching federal funding.
Right.
And federal funding, it definitely has impact. But we got to get. The work I'm doing it doesn't start with me. It started long before me. The playbook I'm playing out of the Black Panther playbook. I'm playing out of the Nation of Islam playbook. I'm playing out of Malcolm X, UNIA, Universal Negro Improvement Association, where we're doing for self. Right. Because when we with each other, we're all thinking like white folks ain't gonna do nothing for us. We gotta do it for ourselves.
Exactly.
Like these are the common conversations that we talk about. That doesn't mean that we don't like white people. Doesn't mean that we hate white people.
No.
But it's a white system that doesn't play the same with us the way it play with other people. True so that tells us that we have to do for ourselves. But the unfortunate common denominator, or that we don't have the common denominator, is sincere motherfuckers. Authentic motherfuckers,
man,
who are doing the work just because they want to do the work.
Yeah, they're doing it for likes now.
And some of it I get, because again, it's like, if you don't have a mama and daddy to teach you how to be a man and a woman, you're gonna learn the best way you can.
True that.
And so you look at these activists and organizers, and I'm not shitting on nobody,
right? But
I understand what it means to be an activist and organizer. That since they didn't have a model in front of them. Some of us are loud mouths. Some of us we look pretty because we're 6 feet, 6'7". We fit a certain character, but also more importantly, people are so desperate for leadership,
right?
That will fall for anything. And then you wonder, with Umar Johnson, he's been trying to build a school for 20 years. What's the damage? The damage is not that he didn't build a school. The damage is the fact that he's taking the hope of people. And so now it makes your job harder. Now it makes my job harder. Now it makes my job harder, because that motherfucker, this is what he said, right? And what the people, what they do is they box us all together. So you and I, we can talk about Orange Man, and he is a problem. Yeah. But the greatest problem is the Umars, because they're closer to us in our areas. Brother Polite. Right. Et cetera, and other individuals. Right. And and that's why it's hard for me to say I root for every black person in that slogan. Right. I fight for every black person, but you have to show me the merit and the qualification of what your value system is for me to actually root for you.
That's true. That's true. I can't argue with that, because we see it every day, especially in the new influencer era. Yeah. Everybody wants to jump up, but until the real work happens.
And with the real work, you can't go out and change the world until you change yourself. So again, if we go back and even our interview,
Right.
it's a process that you took your listeners, your audience through.
Right.
To get Yusef Shakur didn't just jump out in the streets.
Oh no.
And most people is funny don't even know about me, and a lot of it is by design.
Right.
Because I'm not out here beating my chest. I ain't on a lot of podcasts. And I'm just quietly. And also what we have to start doing now, defining what is the work.
Say that.
Because motherfuckers, I'm doing the work, but what can you really tell me what is the work? And I've been asked this question twice by two different individuals, which is what you consider doing the work. Can you walk away from it and allow somebody else to do it?
No. That's how I feel like this podcast. I can't not be here.
But the problem with that is it about the work or is it about you? Because that's the heart of what they're asking me. They're asking me.
I think if somebody asked me, I would say, for me, it's about the podcast. The work is right when I have you here, and I can tell people and share people your knowledge with everybody I know, because your knowledge is necessary. What you do in the community is necessary. So me being on this podcast, where I can see the work, giving my people the communication. So I would do this if I never got paid for this. I would still do it.
Yeah, and only this is to make a distinction.
All right.
What you're doing is a different format.
Right.
But what I'll add to it though is the ability to bring in others. So again, because ultimately, everything can't fall on your shoulder. Everything can't fall on my shoulder.
True.
And that's what they is asking me. Have you built out a team? Have you built leadership to the fact that Chaos can take a day off?
No, I haven't did that yet.
And this is what theoretically, in a sense, because we're killing ourselves. Like before we get on air, which first thing you like, man, I need to eat better. I want to, get that's part of that. Part of that is also I need to take a break. I mean, we don't think about it in that way. Like I'm more healthier. I'm more better as a person today than I was 10 years ago. But also part of that process, because the things that I've criticized others, I was that as well too. At some point. But again, you have to grow. And I'm continuing to grow. I'm continuing to learn. And one of my growth and learning now is, how do I build others? Again, because the best leader is the one that builds leaders, not is the prominent leader.
So when I go back to think about the civil rights movement, a lot of our leaders were either killed or they had to acquiesce for peace. Somewhere along those lines, we lost a lot of leadership. The leadership didn't get translated, and I feel like that's kind of where we at now. So, can we build new leaders?
Well, let me make one distinction. It wasn't the civil rights movement per se.
Okay.
Not Malcolm. Martin was the only, to my knowledge, civil rights leader that was assassinated.
Well, I throw Malcolm in there because he did fight for our rights. So for me,
no, we agree. What I'm saying, what I'm making a distinction. Malcolm didn't consider himself a civil rights leader.
Okay.
Others called him a civil rights leader. He was a revolutionary. He was a black nationalist.
Okay.
He was a militant.
Okay.
And more folks on that side was killed. You get where I'm going?
Okay, now I'm seeing that connection.
Now you're tracking with me and things. So, and that's important. So, because you have the civil rights movement and you have the black liberation movement, and they both are fighting for black people, but fighting from different angles.
All right.
And so now, to get into your question, I think we look in the past for glorification. We don't look in the past for lessons, and we only it's like. The past to us is like YouTube. You go check out a quick YouTube channel video, and you think you know it now. You know it all.
Right.
Versus actually immersing yourself in the knowledge, actually reading the fucking book.
Right.
And being able to sit with it and figure out the playbook that you need to do. And I think I believe we have leaders today. Okay. But I believe the system have learned from the past, because again, the system also helped create the foundation for our leaders to be spokespersons. Now they're not so quick to put the microphone in your face. Exactly. They're not so quick and if they do, they pick who they want in front of the microphones, because they're manipulating, they're controlling, and they're propping up. And they've always done that.
Right.
Prop up and tell you that such and such is your leader.
Right.
But in reality, they're not your leader. It's kind of like a song. You know, you
Right.
like, I don't like that song, but you hear it so fucking much.
It sticks to,
It sticks to you.
Exactly. And to that point, I think we need to get rid of something. We have to start filtering a lot of these talking heads.
Mm-hmm.
Especially now that we have social media, we can kind of like put people on snooze and really converse within ourselves. Maybe we can bring the Black Liberation Movement and maybe take the best of the both. The Black Liberation best and
Civil rights
his
movement.
best, and somehow or another get it back together to keep us going further.
Well, again, that's part of studying. And not just the civil rights, but just our struggle in general.
Okay.
Like, we look at Malcolm, or we look at Elijah, Marcus,
Right.
you just name anybody. Or let's use Marcus Garvey for example.
Okay.
Right? Phenomenal person. But he was flawed as a motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
Rarely do we talk about his flawedness.
Never heard about it.
No, I mean, one, you think about the way he's dressed. His dress, he imitated the British. His gear,
dress, yeah.
his gear, his hat. That was the British. So are you in the British? What the British was colonizers. So you saying you gonna colonize? Like Marcus Garvey? Again, I'm not taking nothing away from Marcus Garvey.
Right.
But the point I'm trying to make is, before I can take on his greatness, I need to examine his flaws. We have more of us who are imitating the flaws and disguising it as the greatness that we're embracing. I can't be the best version of my father without first sitting with what made him not reach his greatness in the early part of his life. Because I had the potential, you had the potential
Right.
to fall in that same trap of your
Right.
father and my father in that sense. So to get to the strength of the nation, the strength of the Black Panther Party, we have to look at their flaws. Because here, like, what we're quick to talk about is COINTELPRO, the counterintelligence program.
Right.
But what we're not quick to talk about is they exploited our weaknesses.
This is true.
Our weaknesses allowed for that program to run on steroids. It wouldn't have stopped the program, but it damn sure wouldn't have operated the way it did if we had not been better. And that's the point I'm trying to make, that we have to look at ourselves and be able to examine ourselves and construct ourselves. Again, I mean, as you know, you're never going to be the perfect human being.
True.
When you think you're strong, there's always going to be another part where you find weakness, right? But we have to mortify ourselves in a way that they can't penetrate as easily as they done. But more importantly, again, like you lose the Black Panther Party, for example.
Right.
When they had a split, when they fall out, what did they do? They turned up. They went back and being niggas.
Fast.
They started shooting each other. But they at one point they represented the best. Same thing with the Nation of Islam. When they fell out, what did they do? They started shooting each other. Same thing with you and I. Like, you man, it's my man. So, nigga, fuck you. Fuck you.
Right.
Like,
This thing is on the popping. You're right.
but last week it's my
Hanging
man, it's
out,
my
right.
brother. But it's something inside of us that we have to continue to struggle and fight. Because you asked this question. You know, what has there been something that almost pushed me back? It's there. That motherfucker there. He wants to come outside and play.
Right.
He wants to.
All right.
And that's my struggle. If you ask me, my daily struggle is to keep that motherfucker locked away.
That's what's up. We're gonna continue this round two for sure on the bid, because we just gonna start. We just got a service. We just scratched the surface. But time is running short, and I hope y'all picked up what this man is putting down. I've been picking it up for a while, and I'm still getting new stuff. He's still bringing me the knowledge, so I'm gonna bring it to you too. So I'm gonna have him back one day, not next week. Next week gonna be a different show, but I want all y'all be careful out here. Let's have no nigga moments. No nigga moments, y'all. Just be careful out here. Let's not shoot anybody. Let's be on one accord. All right. Take care of each other, y'all. Peace. Hit my theme music.
Lights, camera, action.
Boys, camera action.
It's loud.
Boys, camera action.
It's bold.
Boys, camera action.
It's the truth, raw and uncut. It's him with the juice. Kelly, what's up? Thursday night. We talk adult, talk unfiltered.
What up, though? It's Kells. It's Thursday night.